Big Ten continues pursuit of 4 Pac-12 schools is leading to concern that another round of expansion could collapse the Pac-12, industry sources tell CBS Sports, according to a report that just came out an hour ago by Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports. This is emergency episode 62 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. Yes, we needed to do an emergency episode. This report of CBS Sports, the continued pursuit of the 4 Pac-12 schools. Please, before we go on, please smash the like button if you like this content. Please subscribe to our ever-growing channel, and please share this video with your family and your friends. Now, so far, I have read this report. We're going to go over it in a very quickly timed fashion. But I'm already getting feedback from some of you all saying that this article doesn't tell us much any different. Sure it does. Sure it does. Multiple different items of this article is new. First of all, let's just get to the first sentence of this article and we'll go through it together. I'm going to tell you my entire thoughts after we go through this article. Please put down your thoughts in the comment section below the video. I read all the comments. Let's get right to it. From CBS Sports. The Big Ten's continued pursuit of the 4 Pac-12 schools is leading to concern that another round of expansion could collapse the Pac-12, industry sources tell CBS Sports. This as Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren continues to seek an offer from Amazon or potentially another partner for additional Big Ten football media rights revenue. Before we go on, again, the first sentence, the Big Ten's continued pursuit of 4 Pac-12 schools is leading to concern that another round of expansion could collapse the Pac-12, industry sources tell CBS. Do you know how many times at Peek Around the Corner that myself have been told to drop this story of potential Big Ten expansion in this window of time? I'm being told this every single day. Every single day. On Twitter, email, direct mail, people on message boards, smiley faces that hide behind their true identity. Drop this story, Greg. Drop this story. No, at Peek Around the Corner, we will not drop this story because this story is not dead. We said this at the very beginning. When June 30th, when it was announced that UCLA and USC would join the Big Ten, about 2 days after, we said these were the targets. Stanford, Washington, Oregon, and Notre Dame. Now, there's no more discussion of Notre Dame because Notre Dame has decided for now, as reports have told us, that they're not interested for now. We'll get to that too in a different episode. But we talked about Washington, Oregon, and Stanford. And then we talked about in July 25th, go to our Twitter page at Flag Empire. We also discussed in episodes 52, Oregon being mighty aggressive in their negotiations with the Big Ten, willing to take a discount. We talked about Washington, the intel that we got on Washington, saying from a Big Ten employee of a Big Ten school, telling Peek Around the Corner associates that Washington was easy to rally around, simple to digest, easy to get behind. We've had episodes talking about Washington and Oregon, and then at Peek Around the Corner, we've talked about Stanford, how the Big Ten presidents want Stanford to become a Big Ten university. This is their number one target. Maybe not Fox, maybe not Kevin Warren, but the Big Ten presidents. And we've been told to drop this over and over and over again. We are not going to drop it. Let's continue with this article. An offer deemed substantial enough would likely convince Big Ten presidents that California, Oregon, Stanford, and Washington would be valuable additions to the league from the Pac-12. That figure is to be believed to be less than $100 million annually. This number even surprises me. The total package could be around $100 million, and that would be enough to bring in Oregon, Stanford, Washington. California. That number surprises us. But whatever that number it is, look, we've said this. Oregon, Stanford, and Washington, they are willing to come in at a discount to get into the Big Ten. And we've gone over all the reasons why and the incentives to do that. We've also gone over the incentives why the Big Ten would want to do this. And we'll go over that again because we think this article, these industry sources have missed the big story of why this is still being pursued by the Big Ten. Let's go on with the article. If the Big Ten makes such a move, it would almost certainly increase the likelihood the Big 12 is able to get some combination of Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah from the Pac-12, thus crushing the Pac-12 and hanging Oregon State and Washington State out to dry. Again, the article. We'll get back to the Big 12 situation here at the end after we read this whole article. Quote, if that Big Ten move happens, I think the other four Pac-12 schools will want to jump into our league, says the Big 12 source, familiar with the situation. Oh, they're familiar with the situation. The Big 12 is sitting back. Yormark is sitting back, waiting to see if this happens. And if it does, and we think it will, they will strike. Back to the article. Without a clear mandate, Big Ten presidents and athletic directors continue to evaluate whether expansion is financially viable and the potential candidates are a cultural fit. Conference sources tell CBS Sports. No vote has been taken on expansion at this time. We would agree. Let's go on with the article. The Big Ten completed a historic media rights deal last month worth $8 billion. We'll skip that. If the Big Ten indeed turned down such an offer, the concerns were likely distribution and visibility. Those same concerns would be in play if the Big Ten accepted the four Big 12 schools. What the article is saying is if Amazon comes in with a big enough offer, there would still be the concern of exposure for the addition of those four Pac-12 schools. With that Amazon getting more Big Ten content, Amazon making an offer so our Big Ten can expand the conference. The money might be good enough, but would the exposure for the Big Ten conference be good enough? Let's continue with the article. Industry chatter has Oregon State and Washington State moving to the Big Mountain West if the Pac-12 collapses. At that point, the Mountain West Conference would replace the Pac-12 as the largest FBS conference, completely located in the Mountain and Pacific time zones. Adding it to the intrigue. Now, this is something new in the article. Adding to the intrigue. The Big Ten and Big 12 share the same media rights consultants endeavor, a global sports and entertainment company. Well, how convenient is that? Let's say that again. Adding to the intrigue. The Big Ten and Big 12 share the same media rights consultants endeavor, a global sports and entertainment company. We have discussed here at Peek Around the Corner the seemingly tight relationship of Kevin Warren, the commissioner of the Big Ten, and Big 12 commissioners Brett Yormark. And oh, by the way, they share the same media rights consultant. How interesting is that? Let's go on with the article. The CBS Sports reported last month Endeavor was advising the Big 12 about whether it should add the Pac-12 programs. Earlier this summer, CBS reported the Big 12 was interested in the four corner programs, which is Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah. Back to the article. Since then, officials from Oregon and Washington have met with the Big Ten, according to multiple media reports. And we got to tip the cap to Brett McMurphy from Action Sports, Network headquarters, because he was the guy who gave us all the information, everybody in college football landscape, that Oregon and Washington officials met with Big Ten officials. Earlier this month, back to the article, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark said for the first time publicly he was interested in expanding to the Pac-12 footprint. Remember, Brett Yormark said this out in public, that they were interested in expanding to the Pac-12 footprint. Okay, So let's skip down here. The potential for further realignment following the migration of USC and UCLA to the Big Ten has caused disruption in the industry. Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff told CBS Sports in July, let's be very clear, no Pac-12 school is joining the Big 12. George Kliavkoff just said this last week again in an interview that we covered at Peek Around the Corner with Wilner and Kazano of Pac-12 writers out west. Again, George Kliavkoff said this, and he said this when he doesn't control his own destiny. Very dangerous interview. He said some other things there that put his credibility on the knife's edge, in my opinion, here at Peek Around the Corner. Let's go back with the article. Publicly, the remaining 10 Pac-12 schools have showed a united front. The league moved up negotiations for a new media rights deal in July. So has the Big 12. And they moved theirs way further up, 18 months further up. The difference is, back to the article, is that the Big Ten already has its new deal in place, signed in August. Each school is expected to earn an average of $75 million annually. Okay, we're going to skip a couple paragraphs. Industry sources value a 10-team Pac-12 at $21 million to $30 million per school annually after the loss of USC and UCLA. $21 million to $30 million, while each Big Ten school is getting $75 million. This is why Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and other people are reporting California are willing to come in at a big discount to the Big Ten just to get into the Big Ten conference, which would increase exposure, increase their potential for research in those beautiful research universities, a whole bunch of other reasons. We've gone over that before. Okay. Let's get back to the article. Let's skip in a couple paragraphs. It is believed that Big Ten's current right holders, Fox and ESPN, remain opposed to the conference expanding further. We at Peek Around the Corner completely disagree with this part of the CBS reporting. Fox is not opposed to conference expanding further. Fox may not want to add additional content to Fox and FS1. But if it's paid by for somebody else, like an Amazon, for instance, and the Big Ten wants to do it, Fox would do it. Remember, Fox is 61% owner of the Big Ten network. You don't think that Fox would like to have Big Ten expansion, Tier 1 and Tier 2 payments paid for by someone else, while Fox gets to export Big Ten network to the states of Washington and Oregon and upper Northern California into the San Francisco and Northern California area? Of course they would. We don't believe Fox is opposed to it. They're not going to be greasing the skids on the Tier 1, Tier 2 content. They're not going to pay more. But if someone else is willing to come in and those schools are willing to come in at a discount, you better believe Fox. Mark Silverman, Fox Sports president, he used to be Big Ten Network president. I could go on and on and on with this. I'm not going to. Trying to get through this episode as quick as possible. Again, Fox is not opposed to the expansion of this conference if the right situation comes up, and it looks like it just might. Let's go back to the article. It is the best interest of both networks for there to be a Pac-12. I don't agree with that as well. ESPN aims to acquire games that can be played in the fourth window after 10 p.m. Again, don't need a Pac conference for that to happen. In fact, that fourth window would be way more valuable if it was a Big 12 or Big 10 schools playing former Pac-12 schools. That window would become more valuable to ESPN and Fox. So I do not agree. Peek Around the Corner does not agree with that particular paragraph of this wonderfully written article by Dennis Dodd. Okay, we'll skip a couple paragraphs. Adding 4 more Pac-12 schools would result in the expanded Big Ten content, giving the conference approximately 112 games annually. Amazon or the newest media partner would likely get the 5th or 6th or 7th pick of a Big Ten home game each week. Maybe the 5th. I don't know about this 6th or 7th pick. I don't quite understand that part either. Again, leave your comments down in the comment section below. We know that Fox would get number 1, or basically you can say it this way. Fox, NBC, CBS would get 1 through 3 top picks of each week. I'm not sure why Amazon wouldn't get the 4th, or at the very least the 5th pick. Big Ten Network would get the 6th or the 7th pick, Big Ten. So again, I don't necessarily agree with that paragraph as well. We'll skip the next paragraph. Okay, here we go. We're near the end. A different industry critic stressed there is no strategic reason for the Big Ten to expand further. In fact, that person thought expansion might invite lawsuits from slighted programs and possible scrutiny from the federal government. Okay. A different industry critic stressed there's no strategic reason for the Big Ten to expand further. Peek around the corner. We've been saying this since July 1st. We've been saying this on this YouTube channel since August 10th. There is great strategic reason for the Big Ten to expand further out in the West Coast. The Big Ten does not want to leave USC and UCLA home on an island. They do not want, that was never the plan. That was never the plan. And I don't think, there's still a whole bunch of people out there that still don't understand this. They don't want to leave USC and UCLA home on an island. They want to cut down the travel, and they want to dominate that Pacific market space, that market share from 2024 to the many years after that. We've talked about in episodes that peek around the corner, the difference in travel between just having UCLA and USC and adding just 2 others. Washington and Oregon would cut down dramatically on the student athletes' travel time, hours away from their family and school, and the money involved and you could have double dip scheduling. And if you included California and Stanford with that, it would cut down even dramatically more the time, the travel, the money, the expense. What Kevin Warren doesn't want to do from 2024 to 2030 is continually discuss the travel issues around the 16-team composition Big Ten conference. He doesn't want that to dominate Big Ten discussions, people talking about the Big Ten. Kevin Warren wants to expand to 20. Many in the Big Ten want to expand to 20. And the targets from our perspective is Oregon, Washington, and Stanford. And it has been since July 1st, July 2nd. And many people, CBS report is saying California. Brett McMurphy has been way ahead of everybody saying California. We don't have that information, but really good reporters are saying it. So, Washington, Oregon, Stanford, California. These are the targets. Is it going to happen? Is the offer big enough from Amazon or a potential other media partner for it to happen? We don't know that at peek around the corner. According to this article, it's not going to take a whole heck of a lot. $100 million or less. If that is a true number, if that's a valid number, then this deal is going to get done. There's heavy strategic reason for the Big Ten to expand beyond UCLA and USC out in the Pacific Coast. And this article doesn't bring it up. But my goodness, it's brought up every single day in the Big Ten. The Olympic sports, the travel time, being able to be more regional in the Olympic sports, to hang on to that, the non-revenue sports, is very strategic, is motivating for the Big Ten to do so. This is a big story coming from CBS. because it's the continued pursuit. It has not died. It has not died. The Big Ten trying to expand with 4 more Pac-12 schools. If the money is there, no doubt they're going to do it. And of course, that opens up the ripple effects of the Big 12 targeting some combination, maybe not all 4. We'll get into that in a different episode. Definitely we'll hear at Peek Around the Corner. But some combination, per the report of CBS Sports, of Utah, Arizona, Arizona State, and Colorado. Maybe all 4. I definitely can see all 4. So, to our critics out there at Peek Around the Corner, no, we are not dropping the story, because the story is not dead. It's a huge story. So much stuff is going behind the scenes. If you stay with us here at Peek Around the Corner, we're going to continue talking about the story. If you're new to our channel, go back to our previous episodes. This has always been, this story has been going on daily. We talked about it, Peek Around the Corner in July, this decision window between August 15th and October 15th. Many people blew us off. No, this is true. Big Ten wants to make a decision inside this window. Can they? Will they? We'll see. Stick with us at Peek Around the Corner. Stick with us at Peek Around the Corner. Until next time, from every one of us at Peek Around the Corner to all of you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.